Hello, Dota2 fans. After a short break, we're coming back to you again. Game 2 of GG No Re versus some Tidehunter, and they didn't set their tag, so we're just gonna have to see and remember that they are indeed on the right side this time. So, in Game 1, it was a very nicely played game by both teams, but unfortunately for GG No Re, some Tidehunter were able to hold out and get some good early game advantage and then carry that through to the late game. And that's going to help him out with morale, but I think GG No Re are looking to come back for the Game 2 and take it for 1-1 in this series. So, just like that, let's duck on back into this drafting phase here. And there we go. So, looks like some Tidehunter going ahead and banning out that Nature's Prophet again. GG No Re, this time banning out the Nyx Assassin.
5 seconds remaining.
So really quickly here, we see some typical bans now. The Darkseer and the Nyx Assassin going ahead and being banned out. So, not really something too fancy, but again, with the Nature's Prophet, looks like they just don't want to face that Nature's Prophet. And GG No Re, looks like they don't want the Batrider in this game. And, of course, it didn't really work out for them, so they figure, you know what, if we can't play it, let's not let the enemy play it. And it seems the stream is having issues with with jumping and jittering, but I can assure you guys that is not on my end, that is on Twitch's end. Looking at my stream, its progress, I haven't dropped many frames, and there's no real issue with my streaming quality right now. So that's all on Twitch's end, and it kind of makes Twitch take a lot of fire from most casters, but after a while you learn to deal with it and just go to enjoy some good Dota. So that's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to enjoy some good Dota. So Lifestealer being picked out by some Tidehunter. They didn't get banned out, so they're going to go ahead and try to pick it up, and that's a really strong hero to have. But GG No Re returning right back with the Bane, a really nice hero to have versus magic immunity, as his ultimate Fiend's Grip does go through magic immunity, and his Enfeeble cannot be purged by something like a Manta. So the natural counter pick for any real Lifestealer does usually end up being the Bane, but there are plenty of heroes that you can pick up that can counter the Lifestealer. In fact, Faceless Void is one of my more favorite ones because he's able to lock down the Lifestealer with his ultimate and then just keep bashing out. And Rubik, though, gonna be the return pick, and Jakiro gonna sit with the Bane, so that's a really nice tri-lane to have. The Bane's Nightmare into the Jakiro's Ice Path is gonna be really nice to have, especially if you go ahead and pick up any real stunning carry, like maybe a Sven or even a Faceless Void could work. And Rubik gonna be a good tri-lane hero of his own respect. He has a great setup in the form of a telekinesis, his Fable doing really good damage, and his ultimate putting him above many other heroes, able to ultimate steal out Fiend's Grip actually, which is going to probably help him big time into this late game. Looks like Puck and Treant being banned out from some Tidehunter. If they don't want to pick up the Treant, they want to make sure that the Treant doesn't get picked up by the enemy team. Lifestealer relies on being able to get those auto attacks, and if the Treant Protector is there and the Lifestealer can't get all the auto attack damage he needs, then he's not going to be able to sustain himself, and he's going to be able to go down to some burst fire. Puck also being banned out, so they look like they're going to try to go for a more spell dependent mid hero where Puck could easily phase out, and it could be in the form of something like a Magnus, who can empower that Lifestealer to do great damage and can pull together heroes in an amazing ultimate stun. Outerworld Devourer and Queen of Pain, though, getting banned out by GG No Re, and they pick up the Lone Druid pickup. So, a really good damaging hero. His Bear able to ensnare through magic immunity. And if he picks up a Basher, this Lifestealer could be in a lot of trouble. So, right now they picked up two of the really good counters to the Lifestealer, and we're going to have to see how the Lifestealer deals with that.
10 seconds remaining.
And it looks like they deal with that in the form of a
Radiant
Leshrac.
team pick.
In fact, they're going to go ahead and try to go for another heavy push-inducive lineup. And they've got some early game prowess from the Lifestealer, paired with that tower destruction of the Leshrac, and it's going to mean some really good early game damage, and maybe take a big snowball into this game and just roll it down the hill on their side. But Luna, great anti-push, great counter push, and the Luna plus the Lone Druid is going to mean some really good tower damage. Luna able to Lunar Blessing. I'm not sure if it's just, I think it's all heroes. Yeah, it's all nearby allies, so able to give that bear plenty of damage, and they're going to be able to take down the tower really fast. So, some Tidehunter gonna have to think and take a look at this game and really decide how they're gonna deal with this. Possibly a Keeper of the Light, or they end up going with a Storm Spirit. So, gonna be able to get into the fight, pick off the Luna, pick off the Bane, maybe pick off the Jakiro, and get out quickly before anything really happens. And because they don't have the Outer World Devourer available and they don't have the Puck available, that Storm Spirit going to be able to dominate the mid lane once he gets his Electric Vortex and maybe his ultimate to bounce right on in. So we're going to see that come into play as the mid lane progresses. But for now, keeping a close eye on the draft, it looks like last bans coming out from GG No Re and from some Tidehunter, and then GG No Re going to go ahead and ban out the Weaver. Banning out offlaner heroes, as that's right now what some Tidehunter is missing. And I imagine some Tidehunter are going to go ahead and turn around and try to ban out another mid hero. And obviously Luna can mid lane, but I imagine it's going to be a Luna, Jakiro, Bane safe lane with Lone Druid soloing the off. So if I imagine any mid would come out for them, it'd be maybe a Magnus, or even possibly a Dragon Knight. We're just gonna have to wait and see what they do. Actually, if I were to pick a mid hero, I would ban out Templar Assassin. Cause right now they've got Luna doing great damage, they've got Lone Druid doing great damage. What are you missing? Well, you're missing armor reduction. And that's a great feature of Lanaya or Templar Assassin, as she can use her Metal Strike to really take down your mana, and also a really good ganker. And instead they go for the Bounty Hunter. So banning out an Invis Detection hero, they might be going for a Nyx Assassin for this offlane position. Oh wait, Nyx has been banned out. What am I even talking about?
Night Stalker.
And GG No Re, you're gonna pick up the Night Stalker. So more good damage, and by night 1, this team is going to be absolutely scary. If the Lone Druid solos the lane, he's going to be at least level 5 by the first night, which is going to mean that he's going to have a bear with Entangle. And then you've got Night Stalker, who inherently gets great damage in the night, and Luna, who is the Lunar Blessing, gives vision in the night. Well, the Night Stalker does that too, so they're going to have lots of vision in this game. But also gives bonus damage to all 3 of those heroes. And then you've got a great setup and a great stun and a way to take Lifestealer out of the fight almost completely. I imagine anyone getting Fiend's Gripped as soon as 6 minutes hit, or as level 6 in the Bane hits, is going to die really fast. So I'm taking a look, as we wait for the final pick out from some Tidehunter, I'm taking a look at the status of my stream, and it looks like the connection between my stream software OBS and Twitch is a little lacking. So if you are getting a choppy stream, just know it's because the connection that Twitch is my computer OBS is established with Twitch is a little bit slow right now, and hopefully that's going to speed up as the game goes on. But for right now, we're going to see the Shadow Demon pick up. We see 3 supports out for some Tidehunter, and I'm really interested to see how this is going to lane out. So, as heroes start picking, we're going to go on into this game and going to go ahead and reintroduce these teams to anyone that's just joining us. as soon as Leshrac finds the hero. So I guess we can go ahead and start out right now. We see for some Tidehunter, Pokebunny is going to be the stand-in on the Lifestealer, Sog on the Rubik, A Girl on Storm Spirit, Struzor playing the Shadow Demon, and if I can remember the last name, I would, playing the Leshrac, but I can't remember the name, so we're just going to have to wait and see. Bane being played by Fury Striker, Cinnadori gonna pick up the Jakiro, Lone Druid gonna control his bear under the control of the two Asian characters, which I cannot read again. Shadow or Night Stalker being played by Zakaz, and Bad Influence picking up the Luna. So let's pick up the last name. All Smiles, that's right. All Smiles is going to be playing the Leshrac in this fight. So the pause coming out at the beginning of this game of Game 2 of a best of 2 series between GG No Re and some Tidehunter. Again, they had issues with their tag up at the top, so it's not going to be showing this game. But it's still the same team. Game 1 went some Tidehunter's way, so GG No Re are looking to tie up this series a 1-1 and give equal points to both teams as the group stage progresses. It's a point system with best of 2s being played as the season goes on until we get to the final tournament at the end. So, and this is the Eastern Standard Time group phases. There are different casters picking up the Pacific Time and the Greater Mountain Time groups, as the timing is a little bit of a stretch for us EST, as the games that usually go on at 8 or 9 o'clock end up starting at midnight for us. So that's a little bit difficult to make. Of course, it is possible, but at the moment, not entirely probable and practical. Alright, so for those of you who do not know, who are just joining, or who have really short-term memory, this is Chicago Ted casting to you with Statsman Sir Rabbit Koala, who is right now actively on wiki pages just trying to take down info to drop some cool little stats, tips, and stuff for you guys as the game goes on. So as this pause progresses, let's take a look at the items here. We see nothing. So it actually looks like both teams are relatively even, 1 minute and 28 seconds away from this game. And this is not really where GG No Re wants to be, as their strategy focuses on winning this game before it hits down to 0. And if they're not able to do that, they could have a lot of issues after the 0 second mark passes and you start getting into the actual game. Of course, you know, that's total gibberish, and don't listen to a word I'm saying right now. I guess I'll just spurt off random nonsense to you guys. But first, let's try to figure out what the issue is. And as they decide whether or not they want to respond to the pink name or not. Okay, so it looks like GG No Re, the person that I haven't even been able to pronounce, is Hui Hen. So I am going to pronounce that Hui Hen as of right now. So to reintroduce him, it's Hui Hen playing the Lone Druid. So it looks like we have a 5 to 10 minute pause, guys. And as that's going on, I'm going to go ahead and drop the stream into standby mode, because I don't really think you guys want to be listening to me talk for 5 straight minutes about absolute nothing. So we're going to hit into standby mode, and we'll be right back with Game 2 of the series. Stick around. Hey guys, Chicago Ted coming back to you. I guess I had my mic muted, but we are going to go ahead and resume Game 2 full swing right now as All Smiles comes back on into this game. And right off the bat, it looks like we've got an interesting lane going on here. We have an offensive tri-lane coming from the Shadow Demon, All Smiles on the left rack, and Poke Bunny playing the Lifestealer. So hopefully going to pick up a lot of extra kills. They are going to be against this Lone Druid, so they could probably pick up a few kills early, delay the level 5, and that'll be really nice for them to have. But at the same time, an offensive tri-lane out from Bad Influence, Fury Striker, and Sinadoi. And in fact, they're going to go on behind. And Rubik, sensing the impending doom, is going to back on off. Ping's coming out. So it looks like both offensive tri-lanes looking to net early kills, but neither one really successful in doing so. Some great game sense coming out from both teams as they scout him out, realize that, hey, they're missing from this lane. So you there in the off lane, you should probably go ahead and hide. And that's exactly what they're doing. So they probably by now figured out that there's offensive tri-lanes going on, and both tri-lanes are probably going to figure out relatively soon that they should either get first blood or start spreading out your heroes. And I imagine that's going to happen relatively soon. So Night Stalker, going to be able to do very well versus the Storm Spirit in the early game, despite Storm Spirit having early game damage. Actually, just as I say that, Storm Spirit doing very good damage to Zakaz. In fact, Zakaz is sitting at about maybe 30% health, and he's going to be at a bit of a slight disadvantage going right on into this game. And the offensive tri-lane out from some Tidehunter. They go ahead, get the disruption off, and the stun is going to be there to follow up. And it looks like the open wound's coming down. They're going to go ahead and pick up first blood. Shadow Demon picking up the first blood. Probably could have gone towards the Lifestealer, but still, first blood nonetheless. 400 gold for them, and GG No Re are going to have to either pick up a kill soon
Not on my watch.
or go ahead and switch out their lanes, and one of them has to happen. Fury Striker can set up a kill at any time he wants to. Popping the Nightmare, he does have it, so all he has to do is walk up, drop it down on the Rubik, and the Rubik is going to have a little bit of an issue staying alive. Zakaz continuing to try to fight on the mid lane, but he's taking a lot of damage from the Static Remnant of the Storm Spirit, who's already at level 3. Both of them actually sitting at level 3, and Zakaz going through all of his regen right now, and it looks like the Nightmare coming out on Sog, but there isn't enough follow-up to do any damage, and the Ice Path actually completely missing out. It looks like Telekinesis coming out onto the Jakiro. Did not proc the tower, so he could survive this. Unless there is a Fade Bolt out. Not enough mana. He's going to have to back off. And Jakiro relatively low after a failed attempt at a kill. And they can go ahead. Bottom lane, All Smiles. And Struzer can go ahead and try to initiate on this bear. Do some good damage to him. They probably could even pick it up if they want to. Doing great damage, and it looks like Hui Han is not able to do really anything. Soon just realized that his, just a tip to show that his name does mean Remorse, so I think that might be a little easier to say than Hui Han, and so I'm going to start calling him that, Remorse. His bear still is very far up and not doing nearly enough damage. He's going to have to back it on out of there, and he does. The bear is at about half health. I think they failed to realize, though, that killing the bear actually will net you more gold than killing the hero at this point. And it looks like Bane and Jakiro teleporting into the bottom lane. They're looking to turn this offensive. I'm not sure how much they can do, though, with the amount of counter initiation. But it looks like Lifestealer gonna be their target. Does Bane have sleep? He cannot cast a sleep just yet, and the bear taking a lot of damage. And in fact, the Disrupt gonna come out on the Bane. The stun isn't there. The Ice Path giving him a little bit of time to walk right on out. So the initiation, not enough follow-up. And they're gonna go ahead and go for a defensive tri-lane and leave the Luna solo on the off lane. And I much favor the Luna in this lineup, actually. Luna could probably just go ahead and level up her Lucent Beam, as she's not going to need the damage right now. And right now it looks like Storm Spirit taking a lot of damage. Just one more Void and he'd be in a lot of trouble. But the sleep coming down on the Shadow Demon. But the Leshrac goes ahead and takes it off of him just in time for him to avoid the ice path. And he's going to walk away. Teamwork coming out from some Tidehunter as they pick up first blood, and they're able to defend against this against the tri-lane in their own way. And looks like Shadow Demon picking up an Invis rune. Can probably put down a lot of damage on the Storm Spirit. Doesn't have 6 yet, so he can't Ball of Lightning away. The Storm Spirit, if he moves a little far up in the river, and he could be in a lot of trouble right here. But he knows to stay back. Is the Night Stalker going to find him out? In fact, he's going to sit on the low ground for a little bit, but Night Stalker not exactly able to find him just yet. Find the right moment to get him. And he's able to do it. He picks up the Void. He picks up the Silence. And he's going to go up and try to get a few hits off, but is not able to pick up the kill. And until level 6, it's probably going to stay that way. Or until 6 minutes, rather. It's probably going to stay that way. Lifestealer doing a really good job in this off lane. It looks like his CS. He's out CSing the Luna right now by 5 last hit, 6 now. So Luna in this off lane needs to pick up her farm. Saving up really early though. We could see a hand of Midas coming out early from her, but I imagine more like a Tranquil boost. She's just waiting for the wave to push up a little bit so that she can hit into the side shot. But the ping's coming out. They see the bear and they want to go on into the bear. The bear attacking right now. Still not a level 5 Lone Druid. In fact, the Lone Druid is still sitting at level 2. So he's really under leveled in this fight. The bear doing lots of damage, but not nearly enough. And in fact, the Split Earth not quite catching the bear out in the ice path, keeping the bear alive for a little bit longer. I don't think they really realize you are going to get more gold from killing the bear than you are the Lone Druid. If you can drop the initiation on the bear and take him out, go for it. You've got it, and the bear does not have to return just yet. So he can't just easily pull the bear right out of there. So go ahead, initiate on the bear. Kill the bear out. In fact, here's the level 2 bear. The Lone Druid does pick up level 3, so you miss your window of opportunity. He's going to be able to resummon the bear, and he's going to be able to pull the bear right back out. And level 6, or 6 minutes, coming out from the Lone Druid. He can go ahead and try to fight as much as he wants. Gets the Void on the Storm Spirit, who goes onto the high ground and gets himself out of there. It looks like lots of pressure coming out of this bottom lane. Right now, the bear does not have the extra damage towards the tower, so the bears are going to be able to do too much damage against this tower. But once the Luna possibly rotates in, and speaking of possibly rotates in, Luna gets tired of waiting for her boots from the side shot. She's going to go ahead and straight up pick it up and have the courier bring it to him. Looks like the Lifestealer a little bit far behind, and he's going to get ice pathed up at the same time. The disruption coming out on the Bane, and looks like Lifestealer going to turn it right around the Jakiro, but instead he's going to go down to the ganking of the Night Stalker. And the ice path is going to hit on all smiles, and that's a double kill. No, Lone Druid picking up the first kill. Zakaz picking up the second kill. So Hoi Hen, I cannot remember the name again. Remorse, sorry. Remorse able to pick up kill number 1, and that's going to be a big boost to his XP level. Going to help him out a lot as soon as he can get up that level 3 bear. Or level 4, sorry, level 4 bear. He's going to be able to do lots of damage towards these towers, and we're not going to see him stay up for very long. Ice Path down on Pokebunny, and Avoid keeping him from using any spells. He could go down right here, right now. The auto attacks, the Nightmare, keeping him up for a little bit. No, it's just going to burst him down. The Bane wants that kill, and the Bane's going to get it. Night Stalker gets the Void on the Shadow Demon, and that's 4 kills already, but it looks like the Jakiro is going to go down this lane. No, he gets the Ice Path to stun him out as he's chasing, and they're able to pick up another triple kill. The offensive tri-lane has become the hiding safe tri-lane, defensive, as they lose 5 actually, in only a couple of minutes, and giving great XP to this Lone Druid who is just not long ago sitting really far under leveled. And now he's level 4 in 8 minutes, which is not too bad of a place to be. Lone Druid. Looks like he lost his bear in that encounter. And that being down for 15 seconds is going to mean that he's not going to have really that extra auto attack damage, but once the bear comes back, he's probably going to be a level 3 bear, and that means Entangle, which means this Lifestealer is in even more trouble. We're already about halfway into this nighttime. Bear comes back. Lone Druid, almost level 5, almost to the point where he can solo down most dual lanes. And he picks up the level 5, he picks up the level 3 bear, and he can go ahead and be on the aggressive. One entangle proc, and you sent the entire tri-lane running to either the defense of the entangled person or running away, or running away from it. It looks like Lone Druid gonna go right in from behind. He's gonna look for an entangle on something. Pulls the bear back though, and here comes the Night Stalker, getting the silence out on the lifesteal, and the entangle finds itself on the second hit. The defensive disruption coming out, but I don't think this lifesteal is gonna get away. He rages on, and the bear isn't quite ready for it. But the Storm Spirit coming in and is able to be able to take out the Lone Druid here. And in fact, Lone Druid going down, and the Night Stalker sitting really low. Shadow Poison missing the stack. And he's gonna go ahead and use his bottle to heal on up. The Ice Path helping the Bane get himself out of there. So it's a 1-for-1 trade, losing the Lifestealer, but they're able to pick up the Lone Druid in the process, which is a little bit of a trophy in and of itself. Because once that bear hits level 7, or once the Lone Druid hits level 7 and that bear is level 4, that's a huge issue for them, as these towers slowly going to just kind of fall and melt.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
And it's going to be a little bit of an issue for you to fight. Luna picking up the CFs, and in fact, because of all that aggression out on the bottom lane, she's now out CSing the Lifestealer. Lifestealer did end up picking up his Hand of Midas though, which is going to help him out stay on top of the Luna. And in fact, we look at the net worth, and he's still sitting about 200 gold away despite being down 9 last hits and being at dying 3 times. So in fact, Luna though, as that happens, it looks like she gets caught out, drops the Eclipse, but falls to the Lifestealer as he now picks up a kill, and he's going to go ahead and boost his net worth. Shadow Demon being found in the mid lane, but it looks like the Electric Vortex is going to keep him alive for a little bit longer. And he's not able to, doesn't have another silence, doesn't have another crippling fear to keep the Storm Spirit down. And Rubik sealing up the Eclipse, but wasting it on nothing. Complete whiff. And Leshrac calling it out. And looks like Night Stalker trying to find the Rubik, but instead he's going to get Electric Vortex out. Fade Bolt and a little bit of damage. The Magic Stick charge, though, going to help him out, but it looks like the Shadow Poison might be enough. No, Shadow Poison is not enough to kill him. He's going to survive another day. Bottom tower, meanwhile, taking a little bit of damage. It looks like the bear almost level 7 right now. So once that happens, he's going to be doing some good damage to these towers, and they know it. Ping's coming out, defend the tower. The Lone Druid's here, and the Lone Druid's ready to start demolishing.
Top tower is under attack.
Bane rotating up top to try to deal with this Lifestealer, while Luna goes ahead and tries to find her farm bottom. But we look how quickly that net worth from that one kill starting to shoot up into the Lifestealer's favor. And that Hand of Midas just further emphasizing how much it can do it. The Splitter does come out, barely being caught on the edge. It wasn't expecting it to go back behind, but in the end it hits, and Luna gonna have to back on out of there. Lifestealer doing his little skip of life back away to the tower. And Lone Druid almost again dipping really close to that level 7. And he's got a free tower right here. If he can pick up the level 7, right here, right now, there it goes. He's going to have a level 4 bear. And there's the Demolish coming out. Just go on the tower, and these towers are going to fall really fast. The Ping's coming out of the top lane. They have him all distracted. If he were to go after a tower, now would be the time. And the Lifestealer infesting the Storm Spirit. This is it. This is the Naix Bomb combo. And they find the Jakiro. The Ice Path gonna keep him alive for a little bit longer. Drops the Macro Pyre, and it's able to pick up the the Shadow Demon on top of that. It looks like they turn the aggression onto the Bane. The Jakiro able to pick himself and teleport out of there. And the Lone Druid not focusing down the tower, instead just going into the creep wave and minding his own business. So a 1-for-1 trade, a Shadow Demon for the Bane. That could have gone a lot worse if they had focused on the Jakiro, but instead they tried to turn it around, and they did pick up the Bane, but missing out on the Jakiro kill, and the Jakiro was able to get away. Lone Druid taking his bear out of the fight, even though the bear is going to be doing most damage. And in fact, Lone Druid is going to disconnect on out of this game, so we have another disconnect And another pause. And we'll be trying to bring this game back to you again. And it looks like... So, guys, we had the name right. We had the name right. It was Remorse. So... let's try to figure out what the issue is going on here. Sorry, I just gotta kind of gloat here. Anyway, so it looks like we're gonna be able to pull it right back onto this game as Remorse is able to reconnect onto the game, and it's gonna get started really fast as Shadow Demon trying to do his best to defend the tower. But against this bear, it's just gonna drop really fast. Still hasn't built anything for the bear just yet, but the phase boots isn't stashed for him. And that's going to be the first item to go on, really go on the bear. So I'm kind of wondering what his decision is, though. Keep the bear on the side and do what with it? In fact, it's going to get caught up by the Storm Spirit, who's going to throw a few attacks on it, but he's going to pull it right back. He knows. And the bear is going to walk away. So not really sure why he didn't attack the tower with the bear, but All Smiles getting caught up by the Ice Path. Dual Breath slowing him down a little bit, but there is support to come in if he wanted it. Bear not getting caught out by the Shadow Demon. And it looks like Night Stalker gonna pick up a kill on a Rubik into the bottom lane right here. Rubik out a little bit far. Looks like he wanted to try to get a ward in. No, doesn't even have wards. Don't really know why he was that far into the lane, but we can't really read his mind. And at this point, he is dead. It doesn't really make a difference right now. And they're going to see a little bit of aggression going on this mid tower as they do have one force down. And the aggression going to come out on this lone druid as the Storm Spirit able to vortex him out. The Split Earth keeping in position, but it's not enough. Full support coming in. The Macro Pyre on the Storm Spirit is going to burn him down really fast. In fact, it does. And Split Earth trying to come down. It does come down, but the Jakiro able to walk away from it, casting the Ice Path to make sure the Jakiro, the Leshrac getting stunned out as well. And it looks like Storm Spirit's down. They have a free time to go in after this tower. And we see the bear doing amazing damage versus it. And it looks like... wow. Okay, so I didn't see that quite happen. But Jakiro going down to this... going down to the Fade Bolt of the Rubik. And Lone Druid not taking tower aggro. Rubik able to walk away, and the disruption into the Ice Path going to go down on him, and the Electric Vortex going to take out this Night Stalker. So they pick up the Night Stalker, and they pick up the Jakiro in the process, and they don't lose a tier 1 tower. A very good defense on their part, and scratch that, they do lose a tower. Luna is able to push the tower on bottom lane, and they go up in this game. It's 9-6 with tower advantage in favor of the Radiant side for only a short amount of time as Leicester tries to take out the top tower. But a quick advantage going the way of GG No Re in this game, and we see the Golden XP graph
top tower
has actually left their favor, but it's within 500 in both respects. So we're just going to see how this goes on. And does Bane, he does have Fiend's Grip. He can pop Fiend's Grip on the Lifestealer at any time. In fact, he might just go for it. He might end up going for it, but it's a little too late. No, they're able to get it. The Ice Path not able to do anything. But the Night Stalker moving a little too fast, and the tower hit comes all the way from the tower and is able to pick him up. 4 heroes up top, including the bear. They're going to go ahead and try to turn it on this tower, and they're definitely going to get it. They're mid-tier 1, though, under fire, and this mid-tier 1 is going to go down. It looks like Shadow Demon picking up some illusions to take the aggro, but they're not really doing a good job at it. And they trade tier 1 towers. Unfortunately, though, the bottom tower also going down. So they traded the top tier 1 for their mid tier 1 and their bottom tier 1. And they're just going to move on right in and try to go for a tier 2. Do they have TP scrolls on the Leshrac and the Storm Spirit? They do. So if they see aggression, they can just go up, and the Leshrac does go up. They smoke into the jungle, though, to try to attack anyone that goes up to defend, and they're not going to find anyone. Instead, it looks like they're going to try to go in on the two heroes that are in the top lane, and it looks like the Night Stalker getting the Crippling Fear on the Rubik, and the Bane putting a Nightmare on, keeping all Smiles alive for a little bit, but the Ice Path able to drop him down, and Lone Druid staying alive. His bear goes down, and the Fusion's Grip going on the Storm Spirit, but not able to do much. Night Stalker going to become the one to go under fire. And it looks like Lone Druid also falling. So this engagement that went in on 2, great TP supports coming in from some Tidehunter, and they're able to turn it right around and pick up 4 kills, only losing 1. Not exactly the engagement GG no re wanted, especially sitting this close in advantage. We see a few item pickups coming the way of some Tidehunter as they win that fight, and they're able to give themselves a little bit of extra gold and stay in this fight in a really good position. Lifestealer picked up his armlet of Mordigian. The ping's coming out to defend the top tier 1 tower. It's the only tier 1 left up standing. We're going to have a TP coming up from the Bane here. But what is Fury Striker going to do alone? And all I can do is Nightmare up the Lifestealer. Try to mitigate as much damage from this tower as possible. Pull the creep wave back with this tower. They have the glyph. And 4 heroes rotating up. Are they going to find a kill? They need to try to at least deny this tower. No, the tower. Bane is going to get the deny. And the dual breath into the crippling fear. Going to be able to secure the kill on the Lifestealer. They're going to turn it right around to the Leshrac. And the splitter hitting on the Lone Druid. But the Ice Path. He's getting burned down by the Diabolic Edict though. And is taking a lot of damage. And is actually going to go down to the right click of the Leshrac. So he's able to pick up a kill despite being under fire. And that's a 2-for-1 trade. And even after Edict goes on after the death, he did get the full duration Edict off while he was alive, so that doesn't really come into play. But yeah, if he had gone down, the Diabolic Edict could have burned down the Jakiro regardless. So Jakiro trading himself as sacrifice, but not exactly what he wants to do. They had the advantage and they're rapidly losing it, picking up a kill advantage in that fight, but still down about 2k in both gold and XP, and they're going to be playing on the back foot. So it looks like my statsman letting us know that despite Leshrac being very squishy, if he gets his Diabolic Edict off, the full duration goes off regardless. And if you stick around after he dies and you're the only one there at low health, you're going to be taking a lot of damage from that, and it could potentially kill you. So just watch out for that. For all you people watching, if there's a Diabolic Edict going on and you're at low health, back up, wait for it to go down. Don't wait for him to die. Wait for it to cool down. And Night Stalker gonna turn it into night. Looks like they want to try to go on an engagement. The ping's coming out top lane. They see that Lifestealer is in the jungle. He is coming out in the lane with his phase boosting. Looks like actually Rubik force stabbing in. Did pick up Fiend's Grip, but lost it during the duration, so he immediately went down. That could have been a kill on Shanny Dude, but he's not gonna get it. In fact, the Leshrac gonna go down, and Rubik as well, and it looks like Shadow Demon gonna pick up some kill as well. No, he picks up the Nightmare on himself and loses out a little bit. The Bear trying to get the Entangle off, but he's gonna turn it right around the Lone Druid. Still no Entangle. Where is that Entangle? 5 or 6 hits, and he hasn't gotten it. 7 hits, 8 hits. He finally gets it as the magic immunity hits, but he already took so much damage that it looks like he's not gonna be able to do much. No, it turns out that the Lifestealer getting himself caught in and blocked in. But almost no entangles coming out from the Bear, and he's going to send it back to base to heal up instead of resummoning, which is smart. Send it back to base, get the heal up, and then call it back in, and you got a full life Bear without having to waste a cooldown. So aggression coming into this top tier 2. It looks like all tier 1 towers for both teams have gone down, and so despite having the better pushing lineup, they're evened out on towers, and it looks like the Luna gonna try to pick up her BKB. Only sitting at 2 deaths now, and we see the net worth is heavily in favor of some Tidehunter right now, as the Luna, despite being on top of the CS board, doesn't have quite enough gold to back that up. Doesn't have any kills, doesn't have the Hand of Midas, and we see the hero level looking just like that as well. A lot of 11s and 10s coming out from GG No Re because they had a lot of those early 5-man ganks and tower pushes. But Lifestealer out leveling them pretty hard right now, and Luna able to out carry the Lifestealer pretty well into the late game. But until then, it's Lifestealer is going to be able to do a lot of damage, and once that Lifestealer picks up a Basher, he's going to be able to burst down the Luna before she's able to do anything really to him. And just like that, Storm Spirit, 22 minutes picking up his Bloodstone. A good pickup for him, going to make sure he has the mana support, and once they get a few kills with that, 22 minutes is a great time to get it because you're going to continuously get kills and build up those charges, and they spot out the Lifestealer. They don't get the crippling feel on him just yet, but the Fiend's Grip does come out, and everyone's there to do damage, and he's going to drop. And all 5 of them are up top. They could go ahead and easily go ahead and put some pressure on this tier 2 tower. Ping's coming out there, making sure that no one's in the jungle, but go ahead. Push down this tier 2. You're going to get it. The Lifestealer is down. Their main damage dealer is down, and you have free roam to do nearly anything. The teleport's coming up top, but I really favor GG No Re in this fight as they do have the Eclipse up. The Fiend's Grip isn't quite down just yet, but the Ice Path coming out and the Crippling Fear down on the Leshrac, but the Telekinesis coming out and the Entangle. First hit on the Rubik, and they're able to get him. The Crippling Fear, though, coming on the, getting stolen up by the Rubik. Tower being pushed. They're going to go ahead and pick it up. Rubik trying to get up and do something. The Bear going to do lots of damage to this Leshrac. It's the Leshrac going to go down, though. Going to put a Split Earth in his wake, and looks like Luna doing plenty of damage versus the Rubik. The Rubik's going to go down. The Lifestealer has come in, but there is a Bear. If he gets entangled, and there's the Entangle proc, and he's going to go down. He infests, though. Keep himself alive a little bit, but the Crippling Fear is enough, and he goes down again. That's 3 heroes down, and I imagine they could turn this into a Rax if they wanted to. Bear going to go ahead and put some insane deeps on this tower. And turn around and go for the Rax, guys. Go for the Rax. Lifestealer is down. The Storm Spirit's still alive, but doesn't have the nags to infest him. And they're going to instead abandon this push and send Luna down to the bottom lane. You have 20 seconds, guys, if you're to go for it. You have to go for it now, but instead they send the Bear up, which is the best thing they can do at this point. The Night Stalker and the Bear go up, take the tower, and then back off. It looks like Night Stalker isn't done. He goes out to get the Crippling Fear down on the Shadow Demon, but he gets Electric Vortex in the process, and the Rubik, it'll take him out. It looks like the Bear is going to go down as well. Overstaying their welcome a little bit. Electric Vortex is not going to come out. The Jakiro is able to TP out. The Bane trying to do so. Electric Vortex isn't out anymore. It's still on cooldown. They're going to get the teleport. Storm Spirit missing out the blink. He is going to have another ball of lightning, and the Electric Vortex, a really long Electric Vortex. He doesn't have a TP scroll, and in fact, it looks like they're going to get the Soul Catcher off on the Lone Druid. He's going to try to back off, but Disruption coming out, keeping the Split Earth off, but he's going to get blocked. He's going to go down. Losing 4 in that engagement. Actually, no, losing 2. 2 were able to TP on out of there, so a little bit of a Pyrrhic victory with the TPs as they do lose 2 in the process, but had Lone Druid carried the TP scroll, he would have easily gotten out of there. It looks like the Nightmare coming out on the Shadow Demon, who tried to ward a little bit. Ice Path finishing up, Crippling Fear, making sure he can't disrupt himself, but he didn't have disruption. No, he did have disruption, but it wouldn't have been able to help anyway. He doesn't get out. He dies. And that's another kill going their way. GG No Re up 6 kills right now, and the Golden XP graphs dipping into their favor right now as Lifestealer not quite able to keep the gold graph in their favor. And in fact, in terms of net worth, it looks like he's still on top, but only by 30 gold. So Luna doing a very good job at pulling this lead back as she picks up a few kills, 1 kill and a ton of assists, and they're able to push down the mid-tier 2 tower. Shadow Demon is up, and the TP's coming in. They need to back off, at least for a little bit. The Ice Path keeping the Shadow Demon back up, at least for a little bit. It looks like some aggression coming in the bottom. Do they get the Entangle? They do get an Entangle out on the Lifestealer, but he's able to regen up very fast, and in fact, he's keeping himself back up at full HP. The teleport coming out. They do not have the stun for him. If the Bane had been the one to TP down instead of the Night Stalker, they would have gotten the kill. But they get the kill on the Jakiro in the middle lane. Some Tidehunter able to catch him out as the TP supports went bottom, and they didn't have enough force to fight him on mid. Lifestealer going to duck into the jungle while the rest of the main, some Tidehunter forest, go into the mid and going to defend the bottom tier 2 tower. So tower advantage still in the way of Radiant side right now, as they have one tower up on some Tidehunter. But Golden XP Grass staying very close within 2k for the majority of the game, which means that these fights that are happening could go either way. And that's exactly what we're seeing is happening, is some Tidehunter are taking some fights and GG No Read taking others. And whoever can get the better initiation off is the one that gets the better fight. As soon as we see maybe a Blink or the Mechanism finished up on the Bane, we're going to start seeing GG No Read hitting their prime. And once that happens, they're going to start taking more and more fights. Lone Druid pretty much hard countering the Lifestealer off in the late game, as those entangles going right through that magic immunity that he's able to give himself. And the Bane, even in the Bane, able to keep him while he's magic immunity up and to keep him out in this fight. I wouldn't be surprised if Bane picked up a BKB just to deal with that Lifestealer in these fights, or even someone like the Storm Spirit in these fights.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Almost all the ways pushing in for the Dire side, except for middle, which had gone all the way up to the tower, but inconsequential as they're all there to defend it. Top tier 1 or top tier 2 for the Radiant side is going to come under fire from this giant creep wave. They're going to send Luna up to farm it, and she does have her BKB, but looks like some Tidehunter are going to try to go in and Roche. They get this D-warding down just so that they don't see if they end up going in. It is kind of obvious though with all 5 there. And I don't know if they see this ward or not. Is it far enough back that it's out of their vision? I seriously doubt it. For some reason I'm not able to open up any of my dashboards, so it looks like Lone Druid getting himself caught out, summoning his bear to him, but gonna lose both as he goes down to the Storm Spirit, catching him out. And it looks like they're all gonna get initiated on, and Bane's gonna be the next one to fall. This will be disastrous as they don't have the feed script to keep the Lifestealer down. In fact, the Night Stalker gonna go down to another Electric Vortex, and it looks like Lifestealer gonna try to turn it around, turn on the Jakiro, but Jakiro backing up a little fast, and instead he's gonna find the Luna, who is able to go invisible. Beautiful engagement from some Tidehunter, as they're able to pick up a ton of extra kills, and I believe most of them, one of them going the way of the Lifestealer, and others going the way of the rest of the team. So exactly what they want. Getting extra charges up on this Storm Spirit. Let's look at his mana regen, 21.5. In a couple of seconds, he's already got enough mana to drop an Electric Vortex. He won't really need to worry for the rest of this game unless he goes down and starts losing charges. But even then, the base regen is absolutely enormous. And it looks like Telekinesis into the initiation on the Bane, but the Disruption actually keeping him alive for a little bit. The Nightmare defensively used. Kiro though, gonna go down. The Fiend's Grip going down on the Leshrac, but inconsequential as the Lifestealer goes back behind, but instead, Lifestealer gonna get focused down by 3, gonna armlet toggle a little bit, but not gonna be able to do much. Luna way too far up though, and she's gonna go down. 2 for 3. Lone Druid wants some return kill. Can he get an entangle out on the Shadow Shot Demon? He's not able to. Instead he's gonna try to turn around, pick up a kill, but I don't think he's gonna be able to find anything. The bear can't attack right now, even if he was close. Luna probably should have stayed way back in that fight. Helped out with the Lifestealer. Baited out the rest of the team into this fight. And once the Lifestealer goes down, they can turn around easily. But instead, getting herself far enough back where they're not able to do really too much with it. And we see 32 minutes into the game. It's 24 and 23. And the advantage is now skyrocketing, or rather pitfalling, into the Dire's favor, some Tidehunter's favor, as they pick up a few good fights, and are now into this game more than ever. Net worth, hero levels actually, they're on the top in the top 3 in net worth. Luna, no, current gold. Storm Spirit and Lifestealer have picked it up ahead of the Luna. Jakiro gonna find a double damage rune, so gonna be helpful in their next fight. But all in all, they need a perfect initiation, and right now with Bane getting initiated on the past few fights, not able to get a good Fiend's Grip off, it just means that they're losing these fights as they're not able to control any of the real mobile damage dealers early enough. And their support coming in mid, a little bit of aggression here. Looks like all 5 have grouped up and are planning to make a push in. They smoke up. They're expecting a front-on push completely, but they're going to go around the side. And it looks like a beautiful sentry ward. He would have spotted them out anyway with the sentry ward. Keeping vision of them despite the smoke. And that's a smoke gank. Completely failed. So the Shadow Demon in the right place at the right time. The Storm Spirit jumping right on up. He wants to get an initiate in. They see him. Do they see him? The high ground is up. The ice path coming down. The Lifestealer is in the Storm Spirit. Doesn't get entangled, so he's able to teleport on away. But the Lifestealer getting entangled on up. The Storm Spirit able to get a little bit. But the Fiend's Grip not exactly able to come out on him. And it looks like Lifestealer still hasn't gone down as he's doing a lot of damage. And GG no Re losing 2 in this fight, but the Jakiro is able to teleport out. Open wounds out in the Luna, she's gonna fall. GG no Re again, taking a bad fight. And what happens? They're down even more in this. And right now the pitfall continues. As Lifestealer continuously getting more and more items, and he can even pick up a full Mjolnir soon if he wants. Only sitting about 200 gold away. And they're going to turn their attention on this mid-tier 1. Telekinesis coming out, but with the Ice Path, and it looks like the Storm Spirit getting enough in. They're able to pick up the Jakiro. And the Lone Druid trying to do what he can. But he's going to probably get caught out as the Storm Spirit goes in. Doesn't have enough mana for the Electric Vortex, and instead gets caught out by the bear, but the open wounds does fine, and the Electric Vortex needs to come off right now. No, it doesn't, as the Entangle just hits, but at the cost of the bear. No, the bear is going to get out just fine. In fact, the only thing to really go down here is the Jakiro. Top tier 2 staying up, middle tier 2 staying up. So all in all, a pretty good defense from GG no Re. But they're quickly losing advantage in this fight, and Luna not quite doing what she needs to do as the Lifestealer, becoming way too much of a problem, and the Lone Druid doesn't have enough damage to burst down the Lifestealer before he's able to get regen at all with his lifesteal. So instead of worrying about the Entangle, worry about keeping the Bane in the back, get it on the Lifestealer, and then try to burst him down as fast as possible. Luna sitting on 2k gold. We'll probably see a butterfly coming out really soon. Lone Druid trying to get some aggression in on the mid lane, but not trying to successfully finding a hit, not successfully finding an entangle, and the Leshrac is going to back right on off. Little that GG no Re can do right now, except maybe try to get in a sneaky Roche or win a team fight, because right now they're so far on the back foot. We've taken a look at the golden XP again, and XP down below the 10k mark, gold just a little below the 5k, which is not what they want. Not at all what they want, especially versus the Lifestealer. If you've got the level disadvantage versus the Lifestealer, you're going to have a bad time. And Luna looking to pick up her next item really soon. It looks like nighttime coming out from the Night Stalker, but both teams have the same idea. Gank the jungle, but there's no one in either jungle, and in fact, it's going to be GG no Re, which is going to be spotted out first. And it's up to them. They do have a smoke still, and it looks like Storm Spirit is going to go right in on behind, and before anything is said and done, Jakiro going to go down. It looks like Lifestealer going to turn it right around on the Luna. And Night Stalker as well. Gonna fall as the open wounds comes out. He moves fast, but not fast enough. And he's gonna fall unnaturally sick, coming out from the Storm Spirit as it looks like Lone Druid as well. Gonna find some aggression. There's just too much. He's gonna fall. It's 4 men down on the side of GG No Re. As some Tidehunter turn this game around from a pretty, not too bad of a deficit, but a deficit nonetheless, into about 10k, a little more than 10k in XP and almost at 10k in gold. And they're going to go ahead and go in for a Roshan as they should. And once that Aegis goes down, push a tower, push a Rax, and the game. As Roshan goes down, Lifestealer able to pick up the top tier 1, so they got plenty of options here. As 2 waves pushing in, mid wave is about at middle equilibrium. And it looks like a very special guest has joined my chat. You're going to see this about 2 minutes late, Corey, but huge shout out to him. I can't thank him enough as he fixed up my stream when I desperately needed it to. And I wouldn't be streaming smoothly today if it wasn't for him. So, can't thank him enough. And thank you for joining me. If you wonder, many people are inside the in-game Dota TV. So, looks like you're the only one sitting out on the stream right now. The stream was a little choppy due to Twitch being a little bit lagging. In fact, you can see it now. Twitch is not exactly up to snuff right now in terms of the connection speed, but it's doing what it can, and unfortunately Dota TV is slightly better in this case, so most people opting for that. All you guys in Dota TV, how you doing? How you hanging? And we see the smoke up from some Tidehunter as they're gonna find out 2 heroes in the jungle. So Shadow Demon leading the charge, but is not able to find the Night Stalker just yet. In fact, they don't find anyone just yet. But the Lone Druid gonna walk right on in, and in fact, gonna get the initiation in on him, and he's gonna go down. No, he transforms just in time, but instead he's gonna go down. The Night Stalker goes down with him, and they're grouped up as 5. They're as strong as they'll ever be, and they're gonna go ahead and try to turn this into a game. They have the Aegis out on the Storm Spirit as well as 26 charges. He's got 46 mana regen per second, which means that's 3 seconds it's going to take for him to go from 0 mana up to a time for an Electric Vortex. And here comes the aggression on the bottom tier 4, or tier 3 rather, as the wave just starting to come in. Style Poison stacks, Leshrac getting the lightning, and they're going to go right on up into the top lane. Take no prisoners, Diabolic Edict, melting this tower down. And it looks like the tower falling relatively quickly, and the barracks themselves going down really fast. They don't have what they need to defend it right now, but they're going to try to go in. Dual Breath going down the Lifestealer. But all in all, they get the racks and they back off. Looks like Storm Spirit gonna go in and turn his aggression in onto the mid tier 1. In fact, all of them gonna go into the mid tier 2.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
It looks like it's gonna go down without much of a fight, and they're just gonna go on. They do still have Aegis the Immortal in on the Storm Spirit, so he can do whatever he wants. Go in. He does have Hex. Ice Path beautifully coming out and hedging on 2. It looks like the Crippling Fear out on the Storm Spirit. The Fiend's Grip does come out, but there's no damage. Not enough. In fact, they do pop the Aegis, but what cost? The Luna does fall. And Lifestealer able to do a little bit of damage. He's entangled, but taking it up, getting the lifesteal on the bear. And so, Night Stalker, next one to take some aggression. As Storm Spirit gets another Electric Vortex, and Luna buying back. But they're going to go ahead in and try to take out this mid-tier 3. They're going to go right in for Rax. Luna's still here to defend, but they don't really have much to defend with. In fact, it looks like Remorse being a bit remorseful of staying up that far, as stand-in Pokebunny is on a dominating streak, and there's the GGs being called out by Zakaz. Game 2 going to some Tidehunter. Some great early game advantage coming from GG No Re, but not able to hold on to it as a snowball effect from the Lifestealer and the Storm Spirit able to secure the game. Guys, this has been Game 2 of a best of 2 series. This is Chicago Ted casting with Statsman Sir Rabbit Koala. Thank you for sticking with me throughout these 2 games. And I'll try to be back with you as soon as I can. I'm not going to be here next week as I go in for orientation for college. So it looks like you're going to have to deal with the other casters for now. But until I come back, peace out. Hope you guys join me again when I'm available. So, good game.